So if I know how to add fractions and I learned that in primary 4 or 4th grade, and if I know how to work with percents and decimals and so on and so forth, the problem becomes you are almost, it's like you're wasting my time when I come to 5th grade, right? So what is going to happen in education is that we will start noticing a trend. And the trend is that this grade level demarcation, the whole system will break because it's actually obsolete. What I mean by obsolete is that there was a time where you only got books for primary 4 when you were in primary 4. We gave you all the books. And then you take those books and you basically study those books. And then when you finish primary 4, we give you the books for primary 5. But what happens when everybody has all the books for this whole range? So now there's no limits to what you can learn. So my vision for education, God willing, is called vision-based education. So vision-based education is, I want to be an electrical engineer. So show me the best way to get there, even while I'm still in this primary 4, primary 5, primary 6. But here's the thing, because the thing people tell me is, well, what if I change my mind later on? Well, here's the thing. If you become an electrical engineer, or if you are on track to becoming an electrical engineer, the skills you will gain along the way will help you no matter what you do with your life. But the fact that you had a destination will affect the momentum with which you operate. If you know where you're going, you will do much better than anybody who's just wandering in circles. Let me give you a quick example. I was in Dallas the other day and my phone died, so I didn't have a GPS. So I had to find my way from one part of Dallas to the other part of Dallas without a GPS. And so what was interesting is, Dallas is one of the top 10 most populated cities in America. So your homework, by the way, is list the top 10 cities in America by population and then find the place value of the first 3 most populated cities. Tell me the place value of each of the numbers. So for example, if somebody says 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 8, 2, 5, right? So you should be able to say this is in the 1st place, 10th place, and so on and so forth, right? So this is just a fun project, right? But do it for the most populated cities in America. This is, of course, more like the population of the youth in Africa, not so much the population of the American cities. But the point is, one of the first and most fundamental topics in all of math is place value. But we should teach place value in conjunction with an application, like the GDP of a country or the population of a country. But here's the point I was making, though. I was driving in Dallas, and I didn't have a GPS. The trip was supposed to take me 10 minutes. It took me an hour and a half. Because when you're driving in Dallas and you miss your way, you will miss your way in one location, and it will now you exit in the wrong place, but that exit has exits. So it's just so complicated. So if you think of maths as this journey, that if you know where you're going, you will get there 4 years faster than everybody because you know where you're going. But too many children don't know where they're going. And sometimes the teachers don't even know, but I'm not saying it to bash the teachers. What I'm saying is the teachers themselves, they're not always taught that destination, right? So that's the idea I give you with this roadmap here, is that basically you are going from elementary, pre-algebra, they're pretty much the same topics. Fractions, decimals, percents, ratios, and proportions. Then you do algebra 1, then you do algebra 2, then you do geometry, trigonometry, calculus, statistics, linear algebra, data science, and all these topics that I list on the board. I actually want you to basically get all of them. Like, imagine while you're still in middle school, high school. So you start doing all these courses in order. And some of these you can do them side by side, because geometry and algebra, you can actually do them side by side. That's part of what Nigeria does to be exceptional. Nigerian students take multiple math classes a year in 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, right? Singaporean students do the same. Indian students do the same. So you wonder why those students outperform American students. That's why. Because when they are doing one set of concepts, they are doing another class with another teacher. As a matter of fact, I had 3 math teachers at the same time. So it's like you have class 1, class 2, and class 3. This is the regular maths everybody takes. This is called further maths pure, and this is called further maths applied. So basically, what we want to do is imagine I'm able to show you how to finish all these classes on the board before you graduate from secondary school. What that means is that when you start university, you'll be starting with 21 to 30 university college credits. So that means that we help you finish your first year of university before you even go to university, right? So that's my vision. My vision is to give you 1 to 2 years of university credits before you go to university. And we're going to do it in a way that is exciting. It's not painful, I promise. The reason why it's not painful is because you will not move to the next topic until you master the previous topic. And there's no reason to try doing the new topic when you don't have the skills for the previous topic, right? So this is our big picture. And so education, vision-based education is help children have a vision and then guide them to that destination. So I have a degree in physics, medical physics, right? But one of the things that I wish that I learned when I was younger is business, management, as well as entrepreneurship, and then even some engineering. I should have learned some engineering. The reason is because engineers know how to think about problems. Engineers know how to design a solution, and then you can backtrack on how do you get to that destination. So honestly, everybody should have some exposure to strategies that engineers use for their business, right? So in this journey, what I want to provide every student with, I call it STEM excellence, right? So God willing, what I want to do is I want every student to be introduced to STEM excellence. So STEM excellence is giving children the opportunity to have a vision and then guiding them along the way to make the most of their time. And even during the summer, you should be doing a little bit of practice, even if it's only 10 to 15 minutes a day. But then what happens is you graduate, you have 30 to 60 college credits. That means your university education is now only 2 years, 2 to 3 years. To get the same 4-year degree that everybody else is getting in 4 years or 5 years, you now do it in 2 to 2.5 years. And then you can decide, I want to do my master's or I want to do my PhD. No problem, right? So our plan can guide people all the way to their PhD, right? Because we are very familiar with the whole process. But at the end of the day, we really want people to maximize the potential they have. That's really what it comes down to. How do we help every child to maximize their potential? It starts with what is their vision for life. So one of the things I want you to do before next week is really think, do this as a hobby regularly, where you just journal, what are my gifts? What are the things I love to do to serve people? How can I then tap into STEM excellence to expedite, or not expedite, but to accelerate and clarify my vision? Because I don't want to be like Mr. Amos, stuck trying to find my way. I want to have a straight path to my destination. So I know you guys already are thinking about STEM, but for the engineering people, make sure you have your notebook dedicated to each of these subjects, right? That's part of why you have the workbooks. So you have a dedicated notebook, you watch a video for whatever, if you need to watch a video, or just review the examples. And I'll actually send you we'll get you the textbook version so you can also read it, right? But when you do that, the goal then is keep your eye on the, you are going somewhere, right? So every day, do a little bit. Make sure you're reading good books also on the history of science and math. That's part of STEM excellence. But I want to also put us in a group together. My son and some other people, we can all work on similar types of problems because he's in your age group too. And so now you guys can encourage one another. They call it peer tutoring. So the research actually shows that when you teach your classmates or your classmates teach you, sometimes that helps you learn better than just if you focus on learning from a video or a professor. So that peer interaction is how you get through difficult times. So remember that peer interaction is very, very important. Okay, I'm going to pause. We'll take some questions, thoughts, comments, objections.